The Boston Celtics are going to the NBA Finals, baby, after they gave me a heart attack and came back to beat the Indiana Pacers in Game 4. Get out your brooms, ladies and gentlemen. It's a sweep. They won 105-102, and let me tell you, this game was just like Game 3. It came down to the wire. It came down to the last 30, 20, 10 seconds left in the ballgame. It took everything the Celtics had, but doesn't matter anymore. The Pacers season is over. Next stop, the NBA Finals. Boy, oh boy, does this feel good. If you guys are ready for the Boston Celtics to go to the NBA Finals, go ahead and spam your W's in the comment section right now. I want to see this comment section flooded with W's to give love to the best record in the NBA regular season, to the best record in the NBA postseason so far, and now your next opponent in the 2024 NBA Finals. We're going to be breaking down our live reactions here to Game 4 because we got to give credit where credit's due, man. Jaylen Brown, your NBA Eastern Conference Finals MVP. And we were teetering on this. It could go to Tatum, who's been averaging a double-double. I get it. And really, he is that type of player where you don't have Tatum, you really probably don't have this outcome. But let me tell you, when it comes to clutch, when it comes to playmaking, when it comes to stepping up in big moments for big-time players, that guy is Jaylen Brown. He had the team high, game high score tonight, 29 points. And I know Jayson Tatum doesn't score as much because he's doing a lot more facilitating the ball, rebounding the ball. But Jaylen Brown has been absolutely dominant in this postseason, and I think this is completely well-deserved, Smitty.
I mean, yes, Jaylen Brown has been phenomenal. He's been efficient. He's been a great on-ball defender. I look forward to seeing that continue. Anytime the Celtics were kind of in a rut or they just needed some juice, Jaylen Brown was able to get downhill, get to the rack, and finish at the rim.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And yes, there was a layup that he smoked down the stretch of that fourth quarter. But when the time came, he made big shots. He had a three-pointer get taken off the scoreboard after a timeout revealed that he still had the ball in his hand after the shot clock buzzer went off. Next trip down after those points are taken off the board, he comes back and smacks another triple right in a Pacer defender's face. So Jaylen Brown is continuously rising to the occasion and making big shots when it counts.
And I think that you can't say that without at least acknowledging what Jayson Tatum does to really move this offense here. You got to look at this. A double-double again. I do not ever want to hear another analyst say Jayson Tatum doesn't do enough. He does plenty. Can he always do more? Yes. Can Jaylen Brown do more? Yes.
Can Tatum be a little more efficient?
Absolutely.
Probably.
Can Jaylen Brown make better free throws? Absolutely. Yeah. But look,
Nobody's
this
perfect,
is
I guess.
a double-double, the 8 assists, definitely helping out Jaylen Brown be the best player that he can be. I think Jayson Tatum, I'm going to be honest, he's the only player that when he is on that bench, I hold my breath.
I agree.
Because I think that plus-minus is not as good as it is. It literally isn't as good
it's not even close.
Without Jayson Tatum on there. I think this is your captain. I think this is your facilitator. This is your leader of the team. The team goes where Tatum goes. Does sometimes Jaylen Brown, Derrick White, Jrue Holiday come in more clutch than Jayson Tatum does? Yes, absolutely. But Tatum does help them get there at the end of the day. His three ball started falling early again. That's what I loved about him. That three ball was back just like it was in Game 3, but it started to decline. And by decline, I mean Tatum got back into his ISO stance and decided to chuck up threes when it wasn't necessary. That's going to be something I'll be watching moving forward, but I don't think that's going to change, but it is something that makes me a little worried about the NBA Finals going 3-4-11.
Yeah, you kind of touched all the bases there. Tatum's the engine that makes this offense go, but he does find himself in situations, especially in this Game 4, where he's settling. He's not being aggressive taking it to the basket, where he can draw fouls, where he can finish through contact. He's settling for these outside pull-up jumpers, which are so easy to defend. If Jayson Tatum just had the mentality to just take a more efficient shot, try to get into an action a little bit quicker, he would have a lot more success, efficiency-wise, shooting the basketball. But, you take what you get with Jayson Tatum because this team, like you said, is nowhere without him. They are not even close to in the NBA Finals. On this date, they are not currently in the NBA Finals without the play of Jayson Tatum.
Yes.
But you mentioned clutch. Let's talk about Derrick White.
Oh, my God, you beautiful bald-headed monster, you. Just the minute he drained a three, that's why it's 105 to 102. Thank God for Derrick White's corner three ball. And let me tell you, if he only made two the entire game, I'm glad that second one came in prime time. But it just immediately took me back. This is the same player we're watching. Has he gotten better? Yes. But it's the same player in terms of mentality. This is the same guy that drove into the basket, put up the putback to take this team to the Eastern Conference Finals Game 7 against Miami Heat in 2023. Now this is the guy that drained the three in clutch to take you to the NBA Finals. Derrick White is the heart of this team.
I agree. And when you look at the way that he defends, he's such a threat to block shots. You've seen it in transition. You've seen it on jump shots. You've seen it basically everywhere for Derrick White. He's a shot contester to the highest degree. And one thing that I really loved about his game tonight is that he doesn't get discouraged. No. He was willing and ready and just able to hit a big-time shot in a big-time moment because he lets the previous misses kind of go out the back door. He was 1 for 8 from three-point distance heading into that final clutch shot, but it looked like he was 4 for 8 going into that shot. So he has no fear. He lets all those bad moments go out the window in clutch time situations, and he makes it count. You know who else makes it count?
Jrue Holiday, man. When I tell you this is the defensive asset that I never knew the Boston Celtics needed today, Jrue Holiday, once again, coming up in the clutch, getting an and one to keep this team back in this ball game. He's so composed. He's so calm. He is that presence where I have so much faith in his defense. Not to mention, it didn't necessarily matter, but it did because of how great the buzzer beaters are from the Indiana Pacers. One play that stuck out to me is once more, he doesn't quit. He thrives in pressure. Jayson Tatum chucks up a three as there was a bit of a difference on shot clock and play clock. Doesn't go in. Jrue Holiday comes crashing in for the O board, secures it, passes it away, and that's the ball game. They did not let the Pacers have the last shot. They did not let the Pacers have that last touch. And that just goes to show me what Jrue Holiday can do. On top of the many steals, the many blocks, the way that he reads these guards, he studies them for 4 quarters and acts differently each quarter based on how that team is playing. I think Nembhard obviously showed how great he can be, but I think he would have been a lot better if he didn't have an all-defensive, in my opinion, first-team selection here in Jrue Holiday guarding him.
And I echo everything you just said. One thing I'd like to add is he might be the 3rd best rebounder on this basketball team. I mean, clutch time situations, like you said, Tatum misses a 3, Holiday, offensive rebound, putback, absorbs the contact, and 1. That's a turning tide moment. That's happened in back-to-back games for Boston. You can always rely on Jrue Holiday to make smart plays down the stretch, and he did it again tonight. I'm very excited to see what he can do in the finals.
Go on ahead and hit that sub button for me if you guys haven't already, because let me tell you, we have plenty more Boston Celtics watch parties ahead of us now. We're going to the NBA Finals, but I want you guys to be completely a part of it. Hit that sub button for me. Let's get to 32K. And while you guys are doing that, let me tell you real quick about our sponsor here on Celtics Today by Chat Sports. Of course, we're talking about Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app in America. You can play this in over 30 states across America, including Texas, California, and Georgia. And what's so great is that all you have to do is pick more or less on a player's projected stats. That's it. I promise it is as easy to play it as it is for me to say that. Here are my picks tonight. Jayson Tatum, more than 30 points, just short, got 26. And Andrew Nembhard to have more than 12.5. Oh boy, was that a low projection for Nembhard. He's going to be a great player in the NBA, so I'm excited to see his future. If you guys want to go on ahead and make your prize picks for the Dallas Mavericks, Minnesota Timberwolves Game 4 tomorrow, and of course MLB, WNBA, NHL, and several other categories as well. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use that promo code CLNS for a first-time deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It is that easy. Pacer stats versus the Boston Celtics. Look, this is a team that has dominated the assist category all season. This is a team that has dominated the field goal percentage category all season purely because of their mid-range. I have never been more pissed off at watching a mid-range go in than watching the Pacers. They're brilliant. They have the best touch I've ever seen from an NBA team. But here today, 50 boards, 24 assists of 40 shots made. I mean, I'm going to be honest, as a Celtics fan, obviously glad they took the Game 4, but you've got to give credit to the Pacers. This is a very good ball team. I know a lot of people out there are like, oh, they beat the injured Bucks. They beat the injured Knicks. this is a very good team that has a lot of future left. And you know what? They didn't have Tyrese Halliburton. A lot of players did step up.
I wholeheartedly agree. I mean, when you lose your best player like that, you're going to have guys stepping up from every which way. I mean, Obi Toppin, Aaron Nesmith, obviously the two guards, Nembhard and McConnell, stepped up mightily. Pascal Siakam, I thought, could have gotten a lot more involved in the second half. I mean, he had a fine first half of 13 points. He was getting to his spot. He was shooting over Celtic defenders. He was getting mismatches on Derrick White. So maybe that concerns me a little bit for a potential matchup down the line with a guy like P.J. Washington or a Naz Reid, if the Wolves make history. But I thought the Celtics defense, like you said, in the mid-range was a little piss poor once again. The Pacers shot better than Boston in this game, both from the field and from three. And this is another game. I feel like we have deja vu right now, like from Game 3. This happened all last game. That they beat you in basically every category except the rebounding one. And the Celtics still find a way to win, which I think is commendable. But they're also putting themselves in these positions to have to claw back, to have to snatch a win away in the final two moments. Like I just think that they could take some easier routes here into winning some basketball games. And again, that's not going to work. A team in the Western Conference is going to make you pay a lot more than the Indiana Pacers were, especially without their best player.
With that being said, we do have a nice week and a half off until the Boston Celtics do have to take on the NBA Finals. There's going to be a lot going on in there. And plus, we will possibly have Kristaps Porzingis back for the NBA Finals. We're going to keep you guys updated here as well. Your confidence level in Banner 18. How confident are you in the fact that you spelled confidence with 2 Ds? That's how confident you are.
Very confident. You're
so confident. You got to put 2 Ds in the confident.
I guess so. Scale 1 to 10 for me. Jesus. I mean, it's been a long season. We're in the NBA Finals. Let's go, Celtics.
We're at 10. Smitty's at 10 for pushing that graphic, so you know he's confident in multiple things. It's all love. Hit that sub button for me, guys. Join us. Join our antics. Join everything for free. Boston Celtics as they head on to Banner 18.